Hello, buddies. Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming here today to give my thoughts on the Dragoon job for Final Fantasy XIV, Shadowbringers. Because Dragoon is near and dear to me. It's a job that helped get me into Final Fantasy XIV itself. I really like the looks of the job. I like the armor set, you know, that level 50. That level 50 set, though, chef's kiss. I saw some of the abilities and the animation. I'm like, wow, this looks really cool. I want to play that. Especially Dragonfire Dive. That ability is, like, objectively cool, in my opinion. So today, I just want to give a little shortish video about what I like about Dragoon and what I hope to see from it in the future with future job changes. Hopefully in Endwalker. Because there's a lot I still love, but I do think there's some things that can be worked on to make it a little bit more fun and engaging. So let's go over that, shall we? Now, let's start off with the core of the Dragoon. The foundation from which the entire job is built upon, and that is the jumps. Yeah, this job is like the Michael Jordan of freaking jobs in Final Fantasy XIV. Jumps are everywhere. You have Mirage Dive. You have High Jump. You have Spine Shatter Dive. You have Dragonfire Dive. And you have Elusive Jump. So many things that give you verticality, just in the animation department, that in my opinion are really cool. Sure, you can only use one jump, like weave one jump in between your GCDs, because the animation will clip into the other GCDs, but it's still fun and helps, actually, that, in my opinion, helps make Dragoon kind of feel unique in that regard, where you kind of have to plan around the animation a little bit. Actually, I forgot, there's another jump we got, Star Diver. This ability is just so freaking cool. And it's what Dragoon is really all about, and that's just fan service at the end of the day. Because, if you know, the Star Diver ability is a fan favorite animation from a certain fight in Heavensward that everybody loves, and they just gave it to the Dragoon in Shadowbringers. It was really freaking cool and helped give something extra to do within Life of the Dragon outside of just spamming Skorgel or Nastrand. It's really nice. And you have a couple of pretty interesting, fun buffs to play around, in my opinion. I kind of like the utility that Dragoon brings to the table. It doesn't get in the way of your core rotation, but it's nice to be able to contribute to the overall group in a positive way. I like Dragon's Light. I like how you have to kind of plan around it. And I kind of like how, because you have to plan around, it in regards to the distance you offer from your target partner. I kind of like how, like, in my head, Dragon Sight's essentially you giving the Dwayne The Rock Johnson eyebrow raise to somebody, and they just, like, see that and get motivated to do more damage. I just kind of find that funny. But you also have, like, Battle Litany, which increases critical hit rate of self and nearby party members by 10% for 20 seconds. It's so cool, but you also have some pretty nice interactions, especially in AoE scenarios, when you can like pair up a lot of your buffs, including Lance Charge and Bloodbath, with your AoE combination. With going into Curtain Torment with a Life Surge and do big damage, but also you have that, like, slot machine sound effect as if you just won the jackpot, because it's just increasing your health because you're regenerating health as well. It's really nice. It's really satisfying, in my opinion. And those are the moments that really make me appreciate Dragoon. And other scenarios that make me really appreciate Dragoon is Elusive Jump. Because when you nail an Elusive Jump to be able to get more uptime on a boss or an enemy or something along those lines, or evade a mechanic that maybe you wouldn't be able to get out of normally because you may be screwed up or something. It's really satisfying when you really nail it, but it's also punishing if you mess it up. And I kind of like that risk-reward style gameplay that rewards you understanding the mechanic, that rewards you understanding how your jaw plays and how that specific ability works in terms of mobility. I really like that. And I love the positionals that Dragoon has. I don't feel overwhelming where I have to constantly keep them up. Like for every ability where it kind of feels like that for a monk. But for Dragoon, I feel like I can plan around a boss in a slight way to be able to keep my positionals up while not feeling like every time the boss does an ability, I'm going to lose potential throughput because I'm going to miss a positional or something. Because they also give you 2 stacks of True North, so you can just ignore positionals for a little bit, which is really nice in my opinion. I like planning around that. I like planning my encounter. around that kind of stuff. That's what I find personally engaging and fun out of MMORPG combat, is being able to plan around certain things. And then you have Mirage Dive, yes, go Blood of the Dragon, and eventually working yourself into Life of the Dragon by having 2 high jumps. I find that fun. Again, Dragoon is not like the most complicated thing in the world, but what you do have is fun. It's kind of simple, but it has a nice rhythm, a nice flow to it that I find enjoyable. If I do have like one main critique of the job in totality, I would probably have to say Life of the Dragon, because in reality, like, what is Life of the Dragon mechanically? Visually, it's impressive as all hell, and we all love it. I'm not gonna debate that, but mechanically, what is it really? It's kind of just use Stardiver once within a 30-second window. That's not hard to do. And then use Nastrand every 10 seconds for the damage. That's really all it kind of boils down to. Because, yes, it does, like, yes, because you are in Blood of the Dragon, your jumps are buffed as well. But really, mechanically, that's all you're kind of doing. And I just feel like we can have a little bit more flair in that regard. Maybe with, when you're in Life of the Dragon, knockout positionals or something. Just something to affect the overall rotation a bit more. So when you're in Life of the Dragon, it doesn't just feel like you're getting access to 2 abilities. It feels like your overall rotation is in Life of the Dragon. I would personally find that enjoyable. Maybe you wouldn't. Leave your opinions and thoughts down in the comments below. It's why we have comment sections, right? I'm not saying my thoughts are the end-all be-all or the objective reality of what Dragoon needs. But, in my opinion, that's a change I would personally like to see. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Endwalker in terms of Dragoon changes, because I can't think of much else outside of that. Maybe they called the combos a bit, even though I kind of like the combos as they are. I wouldn't really touch them, because they give you a nice flow. I like trying to keep up Disembowel and Chaos Thrust on the target. I like trying to get the positionals for Wheeling Thrust, Fanging Claw, and Chaos Thrust. Maybe AoE's a bit stale if you're not in, like, Life of the Dragon, maybe? But even then, you have Dragonfire Dive, and you still have Bloodbath, be able to get a ton of self-regeneration if your tank's not up to snuff. But maybe have an AoE version for Disembowel. That would probably be my biggest suggestion. I don't know. I think Dragoon, overall, gameplay-wise, is in a pretty good state, in my opinion. I still enjoy it. I still love going to Dragoon and bashing around on it every now and then. The LB3 is probably still my favorite LB3 in the entire game. You just summon a massive dragon over your head, and it just dive bombs into the enemy. I just think that's really cool. Maybe that I kind of think they're going to call Spine Shatter Dive, or maybe instead of calling Spine Shatter Dive, they just make it. They're either going to do a couple of things with Spine Shatter Dive, in my opinion, because it's kind of just there for extra damage and in an OG City kind of way. So, in my opinion, what they're going to probably either do is let it act as a high jump as well, so it grants dive ready, or they're going to call Spine Shatter Dive and just give 2 stacks to high jump. I don't think they'll go with the 2 stacks for high jump. They could. I'm just not sure if they would go that route. I kind of think giving something a little bit extra to Spine Shatter Dive is probably the way to go, because right now, compared to Dragonfire Dive that also has an AoE component, and also, in my opinion, has a more impressive visual than Spine Shatter Dive, while high jump is quick, but it also has a main mechanical reason for being there, because it grants dive ready, which is how the whole job kind of functions. So I don't know. It'd be kind of I'll be interested to see what job changes they make to Dragoon overall, because I think it's in a pretty good space right now mechanically. There's a few odds and ends that could be ironed out or just improved upon, in my opinion, to make it flow a little bit more, or to make some abilities just make more sense, because some of them do feel kind of out of place, like I said, with Spine Shadow Dive. But overall, I think it's in a pretty good space. Maybe they remove the Yalm limit from Dragon Sight, maybe just because Closed Partition I don't think has one. I don't play Dancer that much, so yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. Hopefully they add a little bit something extra to Life of the Dragon, just a little bit of spice, you know. I don't want it overall changed dramatically, just a little something extra. to keep track of, so Life of the Dragon feels a little bit more distinct when you're in it mechanically. So yeah, those are my thoughts, my opinions on Dragoon currently, and what I would like to see from it in the future. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video and you'll want to see more content. I know I would appreciate it. Stay safe out there, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Cursed hiccups.